Welcome to Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance, where we uncover the powerful truth about your beginnings and how they've shaped your entire life. I'm Shannon O'Flaherty, and in this show, we are not just exploring your birth, we are dismantling the chains of generational trauma. We're diving into the core of who you are, peeling back layers of inherited beliefs and behaviors that have held you back for far too long. This isn't just about understanding your past, it is about reclaiming your future. Get ready to break free. This is Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance, and your transformation starts now. Hi, everybody. Shannon O'Flaherty here. Thanks for tuning in. You've done all the work, haven't you? The therapy, the courses, the healing sessions. So why do you still find yourself caught in the same emotional charge, the same reactive spiral, the same patterns? In this episode, I'm joined by psychic meditation teacher Sally Di Cesare, who specializes in helping women who've done a lot of deep work finally get free from the hooks that keep pulling them back in. Drawing on her own journey from a silenced, strictly religious military childhood to becoming a guide for other women, Sally shares her unique psychic meditation technique. She leads listeners through a live experience designed to help you step back from a charged situation, clear the energy around it, and begin paving the way for a more supportive future. In fact, in the last 15-20 minutes of today's show, she's actually going to be taking all of us through her process. So that's very exciting. So do stick around for that. If you still feel stuck, despite everything you've done so far, this episode is for you. Sally Di Cesare is a transformational coach and creator of the unshatterable approach. Her search for a better way began with a moment she couldn't ignore, walking through her front door after a full day only to find herself unraveling in front of her family. Not because her life was falling apart, because she was. We all know that feeling. She had been holding everything and everyone she felt responsible for together for far too long. Now, Sally teaches driven professional women how to build that safe haven within themselves so they can stop white knuckling their lives and walk through their front door as themselves again. We all know that feeling as women, holding it all together for everybody, our friends, our kids, our partners, the whole world. So, Sally, it's so wonderful to have you here with me. Welcome, welcome.
Shannon, thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
So, Sally, you work with women who've often done years and years of deep healing work, myself included, and yet still find themselves getting caught in the same patterns and reactions. So, before we get into what you do about that, I'd love to hear how you got to this perfect place right now. Tell us about your beginning.
Oh, thank you. And you're right, it is a perfect place. It's always evolving and it's getting better and better, right? The more we learn. But I grew up in a really strict family. My dad was in the military. Both of my parents were highly religious. And as many of us may remember this, be seen and not heard. Children should be seen and not heard. The adults know everything, and you just don't speak up against your adult. The adult, the person of power. And so that left me voiceless, basically. And so because I didn't speak up to anybody, not even to myself. And so I kept everything inside, did what I was supposed to do, lived the life I was supposed to live, whatever society, and family and everything. And I was not who I came to be. Or who I am now. And so now, learning that, I thought, well, why would people, why would I watch people suffer like I did if I might have a solution for them? And so that's when I started sharing how I recovered from social mores, and that's why I'm able to live and be here right now.
It's a really interesting point that you said that you were silenced and had no voice, but even to yourself. Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Because I think that's a very important point that a lot of people feel that because they're towing the line for other people, their parents or extended family members or their culture, situation, circumstances, whatever it is, it's keeping them in that box.
Right,
That
right.
part about not speaking your truth to you is perhaps the most damaging part. Do you want to talk about that for a little minute?
Yeah, that's the truth. I knew I wasn't happy. I knew what the voice in my head even told me not to marry somebody who asked me to marry them. And yet, because it was accepted, we'd been together for long enough, not wanting to disappoint, and he's a nice person. I went ahead and followed that. I followed the voice of what was in my head, not what was in my heart.
So you did
And
get married or you didn't
I
get married?
did. I
You did.
did.
That's
And I
so
worked in a profession that didn't suit me either. And I would, in the way to work, and maybe some of you have felt this, hopefully you weren't as thick-headed as I was, or as hard to listen, hard to be heard as I was, but I would drive to work and my heart would be breaking. And I was where I was because I was the primary breadwinner winner many years of my married life, and I felt responsible, right?
Mhm.
If I walked away from my job, what would happen to everybody else?
Wow.
So I just did not listen.
It's really interesting. When you said, I mean, I got married at 20 because that was so intelligent. And I knew I shouldn't
Mhm.
be getting married, but I did. What I was like, I couldn't cancel a wedding now. My father would have been joyous if I'd canceled that wedding at the last minute, but I couldn't tune into that. The pressure was so great.
Yeah.
God, it's like another whole life ago. That's so weird. That marriage didn't last very long, obviously, right? Because you're starting to wake up in your 20s, hopefully. And then I called it ignoring all the red flags in my life. Because when you get a very specific, loud and clear message from the universe or otherwise, the voice in your head, and you're going, yeah, but, or you justify a reason or you find another
Mhm.
reason to do it anyway,
Yeah.
you end up paying for it emotionally, psychically, all sorts of ways.
Physically.
Physically.
We hold that tension, and that is actually what finally got to me. Is not only was that's what made me go get help, I should say. The stress
Mhm.
in my mind was, I mean, that was my problem. Basically, that's what I had learned. You don't go talk to anybody about any of your problems.
Oh
Pull
no.
yourself up by your bootstraps, right? But it was when my body started to just cramp up with pain and I couldn't work properly. I couldn't do my job effectively, that I had to search for help. And
Hmm.
funny thing was, I didn't go for allopathic medicine. I first went to chiropractors, which back in the early 70s was really kind of off. And in my family of upbringing, because my father was in the medical profession in the military, it was really not part of the genre, right?
This is
So
you
I
rebelling.
really, pardon me?
You rebelling. I'm gonna go
Oh,
find some way
yay!
better doctor.
Right? Finally. Yeah, and that just opened doors down, chiropractic was just the beginning of my adventure into holistic health.
Anyway, you start to look into healing yourself, whether it's in your mind, your body, your spirit. Eventually, you'll get to the whole picture if you keep going.
Yeah.
But it is really interesting because I think I grew up with the same message: children are seen and not heard. And my dad, I didn't have the strict upbringing that you did, and he always delivered things in a joke. It was funny, it was entertaining,
Mm.
but the message still lands, right? My parents were very performative, so there was a lot of funny humor, but the message, how a kid receives it, can be very different than how this in the same family a sibling receives the same message.
So true. So true. My sister thought we had an idyllic upbringing, and I, on the other hand, didn't. And it didn't make much sense to me until I was taking one of the classes I'd taken, and perhaps you've heard of RTT.
Mhm.
But I was in Marissa's class, and she was saying that one of her most profound sessions of hypnosis with this client was a woman came to her who had had a perfect life. She had grown up, being doted on by her parents, had everything, and they went regressed and found that there was a one time that her father had spoken sharply to her. And it
Mhm.
wasn't even, anything that many of us hear all, on a regular basis, but it was enough for her sensitivity to be hurt. And it affected her self-esteem until she found that story out and could clear that.
It
So we don't know.
It's quite fascinating that the wounding, because in working with lots of clients myself too, as a therapist, you got to wait. You got to wait to hear what the client's going to bring you. And most people don't want to be angry with their parents. They don't want to blame their parents. They don't want to hate their parents. And maybe their parents were great or they have them pedestalized. So they're not really tapping into what was wounding. I had a client, similar situation, and I said, does anything particular, I wasn't getting anywhere with her. And I was like, does anything from your childhood particularly stick out in your head, a recurring memory or something, some kind of trauma? And she
Yeah.
told me that it was her fifth birthday. And she was sitting at the head of the table and her birthday cake, and everybody was laughing. She's like, I felt everybody was laughing at me. And she was so self-conscious, even though it was like a birthday party, it was a happy celebration, but that's not the way it landed for the kid. And it had affected her ability to get up in meetings at work as a full grown adult and express herself because she felt all eyes on her. So until we healed that story, and so you think about, have any trauma in your life? No, life was wonderful.
But,
Yes. And
and
yeah,
there must be a reason that you can't get up in front of your office mates and speak up and say your
yeah.
piece, right?
So the rapid transformational therapy is what you were talking about. With that was with
Yeah.
Marissa Peer, is that her name?
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct. I
Yes.
started, like I said, with the other people working on me, right? Like
Yeah.
chiropractic and things like that. And then I started, I was still having that emotional issue, I mean, still emotional tension, I should say. The physical was getting better, but it kept slipping back. But the emotional tension was still there. And a friend said, "Oh my goodness, come to this class. It's craniosacral therapy. You'll learn something and you'll get worked on at the same time."
Hmm.
So I started taking some of those classes, and that helped me get in touch with my body. So I wasn't living up here all the time. I was learning how to read what my body was saying. And then I followed that all the way through with somato emotional release and all the endeavors, healing from the heart, healing from the core, and worked up into the Psychic Enlightenment Center. So I call it up, but that was just my progression. I shouldn't say up or, it all depends, but that's when I learned to speak to my body. I got that empowerment because I was now in charge of how things were going. And it doesn't mean I still don't use a coach or a mentor and work with my teachers. It just means I know myself inside and out, basically, so that I can follow if it's true for me. Because I might say something to somebody and it is my truth.
Hmm.
It is mine, but it's not yours.
It's so interesting how disconnected people are from from their body. Our body is the container that our spirit and our soul lives in, and all of our organs and all the rest of it, but it's the container that holds us all together. And when you're in touch with your body, in tune with your body, in active communication with your body, and in terms of also slowing down and stopping and sitting quietly and recouping and resting and sleeping, all of the natural things, your mind starts to have a different relationship with your body, because when your body is disconnected from your mind and your spirit, you're not working holistically altogether. It's like starting to exercise. It's such a bummer because you're like, oh, it's so hard. I can't do this. And it hurts. And then if you keep going just a little bit, then your body starts to generate more energy, more fitness. It hurts less, and it creates all of these other endorphins, and that kicks off all of these other things in your mind, and it's a whole working mechanism altogether. So I think it's fascinating that you started with the body. How did the childhood stress land for you in your body that made you go to a chiropractor first?
It was my back. And it was my
Right.
muscle tension,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
I practiced as a dental hygienist for
Oh,
years.
okay.
And when the tension in my back was making it so I couldn't feel my fingers.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's not gonna fly. And since I didn't have, at that point, I didn't see another out. I knew I had to fix the body that I had. But I loved how you said our bodies are vessels. Yeah, we came in here. Our soul said, "Hey, this is the body I want to be in." And we may wonder why this is why we're in this body. But it was a plan. It wasn't a mistake that our body, mind, and spirit are doing this journey together. And it's the balance that we want to hold uh, so that we can heal.
Yeah.
And to me, if I can just add, healing isn't being perfectly like the picture of health and always on and just go, go, go. It's feeling good inside, just like an undercurrent of satisfaction, of joy, um, loving your body for what it is, where it is.
It's interesting because I'm a new grandmother. So my granddaughter is 3 months old, and we come into the world very much in our bodies. So babies cry because they're not comfortable. I don't like this position. I'm wet. I'm cold. I'm hot, whatever it is. And they communicate by letting you know their discomfort. They
Very
probably have a
loudly.
whole lot of other things going on in their mind because the veil has not closed yet on these little ones. So, but they can't communicate that. But we're very connected to our bodies. And if you watch a child, even toddlers, if you see them sitting, they sit with perfect posture. We learn poor posture, right? We learn
Mm.
how to not take care of our naturally aligned bodies, which is really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
so fascinating looking at
that's a good
babies.
observation. Yeah, that's really cool.
Everything she sees in the world is a new thing. Like, wow, look at this. And I just think, what is she taking in? Like, what's going on in that little head?
Right. And
But
it does give us a new way to look too. I mean, they're so fascinated. It makes us look again and go, what's so fascinating about that, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then you just really look again and it does make a difference.
Yeah, it is wonderful to start to open your eyes through the view of a baby's eyes again, because then everything is new and everything is a fascinating experience or something new to learn or enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who did you learn, how did you create the unshatterable experience? What led to that?
Um, it was an evolution. It um it was something that I s- it's everything that I've learned over the years
Hmm.
put together. So we're supporting body, mind, and spirit over a period of time because, and we focus on that individual's strongest need or desire. Uh,
Hmm.
but I do pull in all the stops. And the reason for the name Unshatterable, because a lot of people look at that and go, well, that's an odd one. But that's the way I feel. I want people to feel that they can handle anything, whatever life throws at them, whatever they see, whether it's for somebody else or an experience that they're experiencing themselves, they will come out. They may come out changed, but
Hmm.
they will not be broken.
It's a really good point because a lot of people feel like they're broken. And
Mm.
if you're still walking and living and breathing, you might be heartbroken and you need to heal that. You might be grieving. That's another part of that broken feeling. But being truly broken, we're not truly broken. There's always another way to look at something and find the way through for you. You might not be deliriously happy, but broken is broken, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, and what is that Japanese when they
yes,
paint
fill
with
it with
gold?
gold. I can never
Yes.
remember the name of the
I
word,
can't either.
but yes, broken pottery, and then they fill the cracks with
Mm.
gold so that it's a more even more beautiful
Yeah.
creation, created from the cracks in the original form. And I mean, well, I like to look at aging that way because we don't
Yeah.
really have a choice in the matter, right? We're getting older whether we want to or not. So I just see that as like, well, fill in all of those gaps with joyousness and happiness and positivity and love. And that's all of the gold that I'm pouring into myself every day by doing all the things. And a lot of those things are for my body. So exercising, dancing, the hot salt bath every night, laying on my table, meditating, hugging trees, walking, whatever it is. Those are physical things, but they don't, for me, besides the hot bath, which is just that really works for me. But for me, they feel more like mental things, even though they're physical engagements.
Mhm.
I feel more that in doing those things, I'm taking care of my head. My
Right.
head. Do you know what I
Right. I do. I do. And it gets the cerebrospinal fluid flowing and clears the mind. So you are actually physically doing something for your body, I mean for your mind while you are experiencing that openness, that freedom, I think. So many times we're stuck at the computer all day
mean?
and don't take a moment to look outside. And I got a message from a friend and I said, "Oh my gosh, I think it was just this past weekend, which is Mother's Day here in the US." And and I said, "I hope you got outside." I knew her daughter wasn't in town. "I hope you got outside to enjoy this." She said, "No, I'm trying to get this work done before the end of the semester." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, not even a half an hour to go for a walk, to look outside and listen to the birds starting to sing here in spring, you know?" It was very sad. So I kind of reprimanded her a little bit, just a minute. It doesn't take long.
I live in the north of England, so when
Mm.
the sun shines, it's like got to go outside because if you
Right.
wait till
Oh,
later, The sun might not be shining. So I've had to learn that the hard way over all of these years. I think, oh, beautiful morning. Okay, well, I'll go out later. But then later it's overcast and raining, and I've missed my window because it's rare that we get full long days of sunshine. So in this in-between time, it's like take it when you can get it. I can't go now though because I'm live on air with you. So I'm missing
Oh
my
dear.
window.
Well, we're gonna pray that it stays nice and sunny for you
Thank
for
you.
the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you. I hear those trees calling me for some
Yeah,
loving
yeah.
attention.
But I
So
love that the earth is telling you, Shannon, get outside.
yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky where I live. There's a river, a park, flowers. It's
Mm,
beautiful. So
yeah,
that's important. That's important to me. And different things are important to different people. But
yeah,
whatever it is that makes your body happy, you need
yes,
to do that kind of on a regular basis.
right, right.
So this meditation, psychic meditation
Yeah. Oh,
technique, do you want to kind of
yeah.
tell
Oh,
us about it first before we go into it?
yeah.
Tell us whatever you want to tell us, and
Whatever it is.
then
Right,
then
right.
we'll
Well,
line it up and go into it.
when I came across this, my teacher, when I came across her, it made all the difference in the world to me.
Mhm.
How I managed, because it gave me something that helped me manage my that charge, that electrical charge that I would get in my body when I had a what I would consider a confrontation coming up, if I had a tough conversation coming up, or if my child and I, my daughters, one of them we'd be fighting or something. How could I clear that energy inside of me so I
Mhm.
could be the person that I wanted to be in that situation? And so when she taught me how this tool that I'm going to show you, this meditation I'm going to show you guys today, when she taught me this, it was like a breath of fresh air because I could pre-pave whatever was coming up. So if I had a big event like today, getting on this call with you, I could sit and look at it and go, okay, calm down in my body, you know, and then let's see how the day goes. I cannot change you, but I can change how I react to you.
Mhm.
And I do believe that, I think it's even, yeah, it's quantum mechanics that says, our electrical, we charge, we're connected to everything in the planet because we have the same three molecules in us from structure that the earth has, that the trees have. And so we are entrained with them. And so any reaction that we have is going to affect every other reaction, every other being around us, and
Mhm.
especially those that we have been connected with more. And so that's kind of what this is built on. It's smoothing that emotion within me so it doesn't cause a reaction in somebody else. Because my words may be fabulous and wonderful, like your parents. They were happy and kind, but perhaps that was a way of them, their uneasiness being smoothed out for them. So they were joking, but inside they felt a little tense or tight around something. So that's what I want to share today. And one thing that I do know, and I'm just going to throw this little tip out, that the reason we can do this short, I'll stretch it a little bit so we can really wallow in it a little bit. But it's kind of like love making, right? It can be slow and long and luxurious. Meditation can be slow, long, and luxurious, or quick and fast, and you
Mhm.
get satisfaction out of both. And so you can do this quick and fast, and you're going to have the same effect. But sometimes it's just nice to sit in meditation for a long time and really feel everything. And I do find that I talk through the meditation So that
Okay.
can engage your mind a little, but stay where you are. And if you don't want to hear me, I always trust people's energy flow to do what it needs to do.
Hmm.
So nothing is wrong. Everything is perfect.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. And is this the psychic meditation technique, or is this the unshatterable?
Well, this is one of the things in Unshatterable that people learn. And so in Unshatterable, what I do is we'll work on because private sessions, we can work on personal things
Mhm.
using this technique plus more. This is like the basic technique that you can use right away. So we don't want to go into this using anything that's a childhood trauma. We want to kind of work on something that might be coming up in the future that you're nervous about. Like I said, an interview, a going in for a new job, um, um, any kind of interaction that you may feel a little bit anxious about.
Yeah, we don't bring your biggest, deepest wounding to,
Thank you. Well
to the
said.
show right now. We're not going deep into the dark stuff. You could save that for another day or book an appointment with me or Sally if you want to really examine all of that. We're here for you.
Yeah.
And get comfortable now if you're going to receive this healing. And I like to keep both of your feet flat on the floor so that you're not crossing any of your energy flow. Have some water if you need it. Always when I'm doing healing, I like to keep my water covered because water is a great uh, transducer. That's not a word. Tran
Friend,
Transmuter. It transmutes
okay,
energy.
doctor. Yeah, we know what you mean.
I need this meditation. Right. So
Right.
think about something that maybe you're just struggling with a little bit, nothing too deep, or think about if it's a repeating confrontation that you have with people, because sometimes we know, like, oh, I'm going to go meet that person. Oh, it's so difficult because, which is partly our story, partly the other person, but whatever it is that you want to change the energy around right now. And then we're going to let Sally guide us all through the experience. I'm going to participate too.
Mm.
And this is going to take about how long?
Max 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So take it away, Sally.
Thank you. And like Shannon said, feet on the floor. If you need to put a pillow under your feet so your feet feel connected to the floor, go right ahead. And arms and legs uncrossed. And take a nice, slow, deep breath in and let it out. And I like to close my eyes just because it keeps me looking inside. But if you do keep your eyes open, just make your gaze soft. Just relax. And we're going to start. Oh, Shannon, you mentioned how your mind enjoys being outside. I think let's start by noticing the center of our heads. So draw your attention to the center of your head, which is between the tops of your two ears and straight back from in between your eyebrows, that area where those lines intersect. And that's the center of your head. And just notice that. And from there, notice your heart. And feel how it feels for your heart to be noticed. And now allow your heart to expand to your shoulders. And now notice your mind. Allow your mind to settle down and be supported by your heart. And notice how that feels. From the center of your head, look down at your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine. And allow a grounding cord to drop down from your base of your spine, from your root chakra, down to the center of the earth. And whether you can see it or not, just trust that it's happening just because you want it. Notice your feet. In the center of your foot, you have two chakras, and you can open them on each foot and draw the energy of the earth in through your feet, bringing it up your leg channels, through your knees, up to your hips, to your grounding cord, and allow it to flow down your grounding cord. So you're just running the earth energy and bringing yourself into present time. And as you bring in the energy of the earth, you're bringing in the nourishment. And then as it goes down your grounding cord, it's inviting anything that doesn't serve you, any energy you've been carrying, to go down your grounding cord. You can put a gold sun up above you. Ask for your energy to come back into that gold sun and shine your energy back into you. When your energy is in your body, it always feels good. Time and again, people tell me that when they fill themselves with their gold, their pain dissolves. So you can come back to this anytime and let all that energy of other people go down your grounding cord. And what you're going to be doing now is noticing or put out a gold sun, a rose outside your aura. So outside, about 18 inches in front of you, you're going to put a rose. And just notice how that looks. Bring to mind that issue that you were thinking of earlier. And notice where that you feel that in your body. You can put your hand on it if it helps. And just be with that feeling. There's no judgment. On the other side of the rose, put the person with whom you're having the issue, the confrontation that you've got coming up, whatever it is that you are thinking of, and put them on the other side or the issue on the other side of the rose. It can be a movie screen. It can be them just sitting there. Let them be them and notice how you feel. The rose is considered a permission for them to be who they are and you to be who you are. And sometimes it's called a protection rose. And so notice how you feel while you're watching them. Notice how your body feels as you're watching them. If their energy is too large, you can add more roses. You can add a golden wall. You can add more protection with that. And if they start to move into your space, put roses stacked out from you out to them and keep putting more roses in between you and the picture. So you can slide them in so they are pushed back. And just stay with yourself. And the energy may move. You may feel the urge to move. I'd like you to do your best to stay as resist that urge to move as much as possible, unless you must, because movement can sometimes give that energy permission to stay. And if you hold steady, it's going to have to move out. So check in again with your gold sun. It's shining your energy back. Every place you've left your energy, it's just what we do. We help somebody, we leave our energy. It's coming back through your gold sun and it's shining down on you. Pushing everything out. And you might have the urge to yawn or a big sigh. You might have a gurgle in your belly. All those are signs that the energy's moving. And give it permission to go down your grounding cord, out your fingers or toes. And you would stay here until you're comfortable. Your body's at ease. And as a bonus, you could stay until that person disappeared on the other side of the rose. They might get up and walk away. They may fade. I always love watching how they're reacting when I'm being as neutral as I can be. And so you can put a bookmark in this and come back to it if it doesn't feel complete. You can thank the person for showing up and being who they are. Thank yourself for showing up and experimenting and being inquisitive, being curious. Explode the rose or the barrier that you put between you and them. And I always like to explode a whole bunch of other roses too, just because it clears the energy. You can close your foot chakras a little bit. Explode your grounding cord and put another one down. Explode your gold sun and put another one up. Check in with your heart. And let your mind settle into your heart. Take a deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel free to stretch. And if you'd like to try rebalancing the way I teach, you can lean over your knees and let your head just dangle a bit and then come back up.
Thank you. Thank you, Sally. That was really, really interesting. I yawn. If you've all been noticing, I'm not crying, I promise. So emotional. I yawn when I'm processing energy, yawn and yawn till I have tears streaming down my face.
Excellent.
Yeah. So energy was moving for me, so that's great. And I loved the gold sun energy, especially after we had just been talking about filling the cracks with the gold and
Yes.
making it more beautiful. And for me, I love being filled up with light. I love that feeling, whatever color light we're dealing with. I love that feeling of it just filling up every cell in my body, everything and pushing out. That's great.
Yeah.
So the other person for me was me. Did anybody else have this? Because
Interesting.
this was just, it's all self and it's no secret. It's about my resistance to doing tech, to sitting at my laptop all the time and being bound to my laptop because I'm a healer. I'm a therapist. I like working with people. But running a business online, you have a lot of back office work, a lot. And I don't do that. So, I mean, I have been for 8 years since my business has been online and I've been in varying levels of resistance with it. But it's never something that I enjoy doing, and I'm always trying to find a better relationship with that. So that was very interesting to
That is
see.
interesting.
I liked filling her with gold, her, me, the other me. And then I was like, oh, I'm so clever. I'm bilocating. I thought, well, that's fun. And I went through variations. So when I was a kid, I used to sit on the floor with my legs open, almost in the splits, to do homework because I was a kid, right? And so
Yes.
I saw myself with the laptop, but me with my legs open on the floor, like working like that, like I did when I was a kid. I used to do my homework that way. I don't know
Oh,
if I could sit that way,
interesting.
but I could
I
give
want to
it.
see a picture of that, Shannon. You doing it.
Oh, I'm gonna get down on the floor. Like, can I sit that way now? Can I
Hmm.
work on my laptop on the floor? We'll see. I will find out. So that was fun. And I liked exploding the roses because I love flower petals. So I had like thousands of flower petals and it was so beautiful. So
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's
yeah.
very powerful, I think. It's really nice when you can do this. And please, you know, listen to this recording and take your time and do it again. Put it on really slow replay and just take your time with it.
So when people come out of an experience like the one that we've just done together, what do you invite them to do? How do we support what's just happened for people in their body or in their mind or what they've witnessed? What if they've witnessed something that was upsetting or
Yeah.
what happens next?
So journaling is always a nice way to put it down on paper. If it's been something that's upsetting, I usually, if that would mean that we need to continue being with that situation. So the meditation was cut short. So bring that situation back in. What you can do is put that person in a white bubble to give even a little more distance, and then continue if you can with that. Because I've never seen one of these not come to a peaceful resolution where there's satisfaction. And the satisfaction doesn't mean that everybody's hunky-dory and your best buddies and everything after it's all finished, but it does mean that you can be in the same space without having a gut-wrenching reaction or some sort of reaction that might come out in words that are very not you, or might hurt or escalate. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you're going into something with clear intention to heal something, to shift something, you will be answered, right? You might not get the ultimate solution because we are layered people, but something should shift. Yeah.
Yeah. And so your body might want to go dancing, so go dance. You might want to sit in that hot tub like Shannon likes with her bath salts. You might like to, go take a nap. Do whatever you want to do. Give yourself permission. If you can't do it right now, make a promise to yourself. You got to keep that promise though. Make a promise to yourself you'll do it later.
Yeah. So, Sally, for everyone who wants to go deeper with this work, where can they find you and what do you have for them?
Well, we've got a resource in the show notes. Also, we have, you can visit my website at yourblissfuljourney.com. Email me at sally@yourblissfuljourney.com. I do read all my emails, and I would love to hear your experience and give me some feedback on what you liked or didn't like during the meditation. Any questions I will happily answer.
That's great. Or you can find me at shannonoflaherty.com or shannonbtb.com or email me, shannon@shannonoflaherty.com. So, Sally, if anybody listening to this or experiencing this today could take away just one golden
Mm,
nugget of information or
yeah.
wisdom, what would you want them most to know?
Ju- I want to offer hope. So if you have a desire for something, you wouldn't have that desire unless there was a solution for it or an answer to it. So if I have an answer, awesome. If Shannon has the answer, fabulous. If not, keep looking because the answer is out there for you and it
Great.
will show up.
Yeah.
Just don't give up.
Yeah. That's good. There is always hope, and you're not broken. It's not your fault. The answer might be out there, but usually the answer is in here. So
Yeah.
this is what meditation is about. It's about going within to find that other way of relating with your issues, with yourself, with whatever you're feeling in your body, another way to experience things, because there's always another way. So thank you so much. And Sally, it's been such a joy to have you here today. And thank you for taking us through that beautiful meditation. And thanks everybody for tuning in live. And in a couple days, we're sending out Sally's resource and my resource and sharing the playback link. So hope you're all on both of our mailing lists, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Sally. Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Shannon. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye now.
You have been listening to Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance with Shannon O'Flaherty on Transformation Talk Radio. On the second Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, we connect the dots between your ancestors, your birth, and the patterns that keep you stuck, guiding you to a place of profound healing and unstoppable brilliance. By examining and healing your cellular imprint from birth of how you perceive and respond to the world and the challenges that are created in your day-to-day life, we can begin to heal and live more balanced and fulfilling lives. For more information, visit shannonbtb.com. That's shannonbtb.com.